Hi everyone. So today we will be doing the fourth poem, which is called Froth and Bubble. It is written by Adam Lindsay Gordon. But before we do that, there are a few questions for you. So let's do the before you read part. We face many things that scare us. Development takes place when we try to overcome fear. Development means you become a better person. Each time we face those fears, we become more courageous. Courageous is to be fearless. So courage is doing the right thing with confidence. So who comes to your mind when you hear the word courage? So it may be someone that you know, your friend or your family member or somebody who's your icon, who's your inspiration. So name a few people from history who have shown courage or kindness. So someone like Jhansi Ki Rani or Bhagat Singh. So Rani Lakshmi Bai, Jhansi Ki Rani, as she was called, they both fought wars. So they fought for what they felt was right. So they were courageous. Kindness, like Mother Teresa, Florence Nightingale, they did things for others, right? So they were kind. So write down the names of a few people who you think are courageous and kind. So this poem, Froth and Bubble, it's actually in the text in your textbook. A small stanza is given from a longer version of the poem. So this is not the entire poem. This is just a small stanza that they have um, mentioned here from the longer version of the poem. The poet says, question not, but live and labor. So the poet says, don't question, but just live and labor. Labor means do your hard work till your goal be won. So all of you might have a goal, right? That you want to grow up and be something. So until you reach that goal, until you attain that goal, you should keep doing hard work. Helping every feeble neighbor, and you should help others. Somebody feeble means somebody who's weak. So your friend, if they're not good at studies, you should help them out. Seeking help from none. So the attitude that in life that you should have is that you should offer help, but you should be self-dependent. You should not ask for help, but you should provide help to others. Seeking help means asking for help. Life is mostly froth and bubble. So froth means something on top of a liquid, like when milk boils on top of that, froth comes, right? And bubble means you see in the air, you make those bubbles and then you can pop them. So the poet is comparing life to the froth and bubble. Two things stand like stone. Kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. So he's saying when somebody else is in trouble, you should show kindness. But when you yourself are in trouble, you should show courage and not ask for help, but you should try to solve it by yourself. So let's do some questions so we understand the poem better. What should not be done according to the poet? So the poet in the first line, he says, question not. So the poet says, don't question things. Who should be helped? You should help every feeble neighbor, somebody who is weak. What should not be asked for? Seeking help. You should not ask for help. Life, says the poet, is froth and bubble. In the poem, stone means A, rock, B, bubble, or C, strong feelings. So two things stand like stone. So does he literally mean stone or is he comparing stone to something else? So he's comparing stone to feelings, right? According to the poet, what is life? So the poet says life is all about finding kindness in another's trouble and courage in your own. So that is what life is all about. When do the two things stand like stone? So he's written, life is mostly froth and bubble, and these things stand like stone. So he is comparing froth and bubble. So he's trying to say that these feelings that you have, they are like froth and bubble. They come and go, they're very easily. So life just comes and goes like a bubble. If it's there in the air, it's easy to pop, right? So he's saying that you should not pay heed to your feelings. You should not hold on to fear for long. What should we do till our goal is won? You should live and labor. You should do hard work until your goal is won. So, what is the message of the poem? So, poet is trying to say, or the message he's trying to give is that you should find courage in your own troubles, but when somebody else is going through trouble, you should always help them. According to this poem, what is our duty in this life? So that is our duty, right? That you should find kindness in another's trouble and courage in your own. So you should be both kind to others and courageous to yourself. Why do you think the poet has compared life to froth and bubbles? So like I said, he has compared the feelings, that this feeling of fear that you have. You should not have that. They should go away by your courage. They should disappear like froth and bubble. Why does the poet compare gentle emotions to stone? So why is he comparing emotions to stone? Because a stone is always, if it's kept in one place, it's always there, right? It doesn't move. So which is why he's comparing your gentle emotions to stones. He's saying that your feelings will always remain, your fear will always remain. But how can you overcome that? Is by being like bubble, like froth and bubble, by making it go away by being courageous. All right. Learn more rhyming words. So fill in the blanks by picking the rhyming words from the poem and add more words to the list. So you know that in a poem, there are always rhyming words. Let's find those rhyming words here. One is done for you. A word in the poem, labor. So let's go back and see. Labor, what does it rhyme with? It rhymes with neighbor, correct? And what is another rhyming word? You can say savor. Savor means to like something, to enjoy eating something. So another word is one, and the rhyming word is none in the poem. Other rhyming words are done and sun. Bubble. So what is rhyming to bubble in the poem? Trouble, right? Another rhyming word could be humble. So humble means somebody who's doesn't show off, somebody who's very, very kind and doesn't, if he has many achievements also, he doesn't show off. Another word, stone. So what rhymes with stone in the poem? Let's see. Own. So own is a word which rhymes in the poem. A rhyming word could be tone. Tone means the sound of something. So if I'm speaking very angrily, that means that's my tone of speaking. Or if I'm speaking very softly, that's what you call the tone. So that is what rhymes with stone. Certain. So what rhymes with certain? Certain is not there in the poem, but words like one, none rhyme with certain. Okay. All right. So these are a few questions that you have to answer. So which line do you like in the poem and why? So go back to the poem, read it and read each of the lines and decide which line you like the most and why do you like that line. Discuss kindness and courage with your friend. So discuss with your friend what kind act your friend and you have done, what courageous act you and your friend have done. There's a line here, quote, which says, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. So which means wake up, arise, awake, wake up in the morning and don't stop until your goal is reached. Do you know who said this? This inspiring statement is given by the great saint of India, Swami Vivekananda. So collect the sayings of great people of India. It's a good thing to always read quotes by famous people because they say very inspirational things, right? So there is a little something written about the poet. So we'll just read that. So he was born in 1833 and passed away in 1870. Adam Lindsay Gordon was an Australian. So he was born in a country called Australia. He was honored on a postage stamp bearing his portrait issued by Australia Post, which means that back in the day when people used to send letters on a stamp, his face was put. So Australia Post is a government business enterprise. It is owned by the government. Selected works are A Song of Autumn, The Stickstock Rider, and The Swimmer. There is another poem here called A Bravery Pledge. It is written by Lynn C. Johnston. So let's read that. Some think bravery is living without fear, but that is not true. Bravery is living despite the fear. So, like we said, we talked about the stone, the author, the poet comparing the feelings to stone. So, like a stone, it will always remain, but it is how you overcome the fear and be brave and courageous and doing what needs to be done, even though you're scared to death. Some can stand on the sidelines of life and be content with what could have been but never was. So, some people never take the risk to do something courageous because they want to be safe. That is not me. I will not look back at the end of my life thinking of what could have been. So, the poet is saying, do not look back at life with regret. You should never look back with regret, right? Saying that, oh, I should have done this. You should always do what you want to do. I vow to live my dreams no matter what. I will stand up and be counted, even when I am one of the few or standing all by myself. So the poet is saying that even if I am the only one standing for my goal, it is scary, but I will be courageous and I will reach my goal. I will proudly state before God and all who see, this is who I am and I want to be. I will stand proudly in the batter's box on the baseball field of my dreams, and I will not cower at the thought of being hit. So, cower means to be scared or feel ashamed if I should strike out. So, the poet wants to be a baseball player. So, baseball is a game played. So, it's like cricket. So, he's saying that I don't want to be scared that I might get hit with the ball or if I may become out. I don't want to feel ashamed of that. If I do not achieve all that I desire, it will not be for lack of courage or effort. I will go down swinging as if my life depended on it. So he's saying I'll play like my life depends on it. So my life depends on it, meaning that if I don't play well, that I might die. But if all I want is meant to be, then I will hit a home run. I will hit a six, but will not only echo in my heart and mind, but in all of those who are destined to witness my success. And maybe in that moment, courage will be found in another, searching for the strength to be brave. So he's saying maybe when I am achieving my dreams, I may inspire somebody else to also be courageous. So this poem was called A Bravery Pledge. So that's a good poem. And go back and read the poem Froth and Bubble once, do the activities, and this completes the poem 4.